I'm Mark Saxon, and welcome back to the drawing board. Thank you for yet another week of joining me talking about some sports. Let's get into those Friday beers, which always taste different. Excuse my voice. I've all been sick in my house, so getting over that. That being said, let's move it along. Let's jump right into the Masters. Let's go to Georgia, Georgia, where the greatest of all greats come to play. I love this time of year. The Masters is extremely fun. I only made two bets. I made two bets on two different golfers, Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka. Brooks Koepka is probably my favorite, Bryson being a close second. I bet on both of them to win. I'll just go over the top couple. Justin Rose is in first on April 11th, Friday, at the end of day two, with a -8. Bryson DeChambeau, -7. Rory McIlroy with a -6. Connors with a -6. McCarty with a -5. Lowry with a -5. Hatton with a -5. And Scheffler with a -5. Seen some great stuff this far. I think Bryson DeChambeau, this would be great for him to win. Huge fan of golf. Love that shit. Can't wait to see more of it. I think, like I said, this is always the funnest time of year for golf. Everybody is definitely in on this type of weekend. So that being said, tune into the Masters. Gotta love to see it. I'll drink to that. Now let's go to the MLB where my San Diego Padres are in first place with an 11-3 record. They beat the Rockies tonight, 8-0. But the Dodgers, right there, beating the Cubs 3-0. And the standings look a little bit like this. We're going to go ahead and start in the NL West. So 11-3 Padres, 10-3 Giants. Remember, I told you guys about them Giants and Diamondbacks. Keep an eye out for them. 11-4 Dodgers, 7-7 Diamondbacks. Now, give the Diamondbacks some time. I think they'll be just fine with the 3-10 Rockies on the bottom. In the Central, the Brew Crew 8-6, the Cubbies 9-7, Cards 6-7, Cincy 6-8, Pittsburgh 5-9. The Mets leading the East right now 8-4, Philly 8-5, Washington 6-7, along with Miami and Atlanta 3-10. Once again, I told you guys last week, Braves fans, let's calm it down. Let's calm it down. Let's not pull the trigger on the panic button. You guys are going to be fine. A lot of season left, a lot of ball left. Okay. American East, Toronto 8-6. The Yankees 7-6. Boston 7-8. Tampa 6-7. Baltimore 5-8. Give Baltimore some time. Give the Yanks some time. Toronto's got to be able to hang on. I think they're capable. But they just have a way of getting in their own way. So we'll see about that. Going to the American League Central, Detroit 8-5, Cleveland 7-6, Kansas City 7-7, Minnesota 4-10, Chicago 3-10. Now I did call for the Twins to take that division 4-10. A lot of ball left. A lot of ball left. Let's calm it down. Let's relax a little bit. Going to the American League West, where I did call the Rangers to win that division, and they are in first right now with a 9-5. The Angels 8-5. Don't tell the Angels that. You got Houston 6-7, Seattle 6-8, and the Athletics with no home at 5-8. Going to be interesting. Going to be interesting. I think, at least for my Padres, off to a hot start. Cronenworth with a cracked rib, going to take some time off. I think tonight was the night that we needed after a big injury like that. Everybody's kind of getting it in 8-0 win. Granted, it is the Rockies, and I'm not trying to shit talk, but the Rockies, right? They're not the Dodgers, okay? They're not the Giants, okay? They're not playing high quality ball right now, so it is what it is. But Padres in first place, looking good, feeling good, doing good. Got to keep at it. I say stay on it. Take it a day at a time, a game at a time, baby. We're doing it. We're in first place. We're putting the $1 billion team in third place right now. Granted, it's early. It's a lot of ball left. I've already said that. I'm just saying, maybe putting all the all stars on one team might not work out. In other news, the 2025 Gold Cup draw has taken place, and I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the United States. We could talk about everything else, jump into everything else. It's probably going to be USA, Jamaica, Mexico, Canada, you know, coming up to the end of this, maybe Panama jumping in, maybe Haiti. But I want to talk about the United States. Group D, Group Dog, if you will, drawing Haiti, Trinidad, and Saudi Arabia. Everybody's been jumping down this United States team throat. How much they suck, how much they're letting it go, how much they've dropped, how much they didn't do this, didn't do that. Fail, 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 fail. That's all they're talking about. In my opinion, let's not forget about the success that they have had. Let's not forget about what they've done, right? Once again, I've said this in weeks past on this show where Aaron Rodgers said it best, right? RELAX. Let's relax. Let's relax a little bit. Granted, be pissed off. Those losses weren't fun. They were a hard pill to swallow. It's not what we needed as a national team to move forward. Completely understand all of those things. Let's not forget what they're capable of, though, right? I think this is the perfect slump buster, the perfect bounce back, if you will, in this group. Now, I don't want to come back, in a couple of months from now and look back on this video where I called for the United States to do, to make good on their word, and then they get punked by Trinidad like they did back in 2018 to miss the World Cup. They're a host nation; they're going to miss the World Cup, but I mean, to miss the Gold Cup, right? Um, Nothing like that. That would be an abomination. I am, however, saying this team is still a great team. They haven't gotten the results that we needed in the past, however many days, World Cup wise. I think this is the team that can get us the result. I think this is the team that can carry us to deep positions in big tournaments. We got to hold on. We got to remain patient. We got to support the boys. Let's support the boys. Let's get behind them. Let's rally. Let's get it in. This is the perfect time to do it. This Gold Cup against Haiti, Trinidad, and Saudi, perfect. Perfect timing. Perfect slump buster. Anybody who's not behind it, you guys are just haters. At this point, once again, it's okay to be pissed off. It's okay to be disappointed in what the United States men's national team has done. Quit being haters. Let's get behind these boys. Remember, they're our boys. They're donning our colors. I'll get off my soapbox now. Have a beer to that. Let's go to UFC 314. I can't wait. What a card. What a card. Happening on April 12th, 2025. Going to be good fun for everyone. Dan Ige fighting Sean Woodson for the last bit of the prelims. Look into that. Taking Dan Ige. I think it's going to be fun. Dan Ige is the man. He's the dog in this fight, though. Dan Ige, 33 years old, with I mean, listen, the last five, losing three of them. I don't know, for whatever reason, I got Dan the Man Ige Sean Woodson, nothing to shake a stick at. The man's a boss. Okay. He's got the reach. He's a year younger. He's got a better record. Got 4 out of the last 5 of wins, and that fifth one being a draw. Sean Woodson is no punk. No punk. I'm gonna give it to Dan the Man though. So move it right along. Dominic Reyes with Nikita Krylov. Nikita Krylov, first of all, the Ukrainian 3-2, losing to Paul Craig, and Magomed Ankalaev. Ankalaev, obviously being a boss. Paul Craig, no bitch either. Um, Winning his last 3, one by decision, one by submission, and one by knockout. And on the other side of the coin, Dominic Reyes, who's 2 years older, doesn't quite have the reach and losing 3 of his last 5. Now, I don't I once again, he's not a punk, dude. Dominic Reyes ain't gonna go out there and get punked just by anybody. However, I think Krylov is going to have his number. I think that's it. I think it's gonna get violent. I think Krylov's gonna take him down. I think he's gonna win by submission. So moving along, Jean Silva taking on Bryce Thuggins Mitchell. And I've been very vocal about Bryce Mitchell since he came out with his ignorant shit. I used to be a huge Bryce Thuggins fan. Uh, Said some dumb shit. Said some ignorant shit. And now I hope John Silva beats the living dog shit out of him. Hope he beats the dog shit out of him. John Silva being 15-2, Bryce Thuggins 17-3. Jean, 2 years younger, does not have the reach. Bryce Mitchell with a 3-2 in the last 5, losing to that brutal knockout by Emmett, and also way back to Taporia on the submission. Where Jean, on the other hand, 5-0 in his last 5. Now, I'm going to give it to Jean just because I want him to beat the dog shit out of Bryce, and I want Bryce to just suffer after all the ignorant shit he said. Let's move it along. Yair Rodriguez beating Patricio Pitbull, and I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna take Yair. He's got the age. He's got the reach. He's got the height. And in the last 5, he is not too great. He won against Emmett, won against Ortega, lost against Holloway, lost against Ortega 2 years later, and then lost against Volk for the title. But none of those guys are punks. None of those guys are punks. However, Pitbull is 3-2, losing to Suzuki and Pettis. So I think it's going to be a lot closer than what meets the eye, but I'm giving it to Yair, and I think he gets him on submission. Now, my favorite fight of the night. Oh, Patty the Batty. Oh, Patty the Batty. Patty Pimblett taking on Michael Chandler. This is going to be an absolute war. I cannot wait. This is what I've been waiting on. Obviously, Patty's got the age, he's got the reach. Michael Chandler, here's the thing. I'm a huge Michael Chandler fan. I'm a bigger Patty the Pimblett fan. And this fight is one of those things where I love to see it, hate to see the loser because I don't want either one to lose. Gonna pick Patty the Batty. I'm gonna pick him in submission in plus 2.5 rounds. I think this might go the distance, but I think Patty might get the submission before the final bell. Michael Chandler, 1-4 in the last 5, losing to Gaethje, Charlie Olives. I'm sorry, Charlie Olives, then Gaethje, then Poirier, then Charlie Olives again. None of those men are punks. Michael Chandler's always been a warrior. It'll always be a bloodbath, and he never gives up. And I fucking love that of Michael Chandler. Patty the Batty, on the other hand, with a clean 5-0 in the last five, and I think he's got the second longest streak with wins in the UFC right now, with like 12 or 13 or some shit like that. Doing his thing, beating Tony Ferguson, beating King Green. I mean, the list goes on. Patty the Batty might well be the future of this division, of this lightweight division. I mean, I love Patty. I think he's got a shot at the title. Michael Chandler is going to be one hell of an opponent. Take your cap off to Dana White for letting this happen, for making this happen. We all look forward to that Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor fight. Obviously, Conor McGregor circling around, rooting for Patty, doing his thing. He's always going to pay attention, always going to try and make his name relevant. Dude, this is going to be fun. I think this might outweigh the main card where Volkanovski takes on Diego Lopez. Alexander Volkanovski. I mean, Volk is a G. Don't get me wrong. I was pissed off when he lost the belt. I was pissed off when he lost to Taporia. But Volk is a boss, right? 2-3 in the last five, but I mean losing to no punk, right? He lost to Makhachev and Taporia. Losing to no punk, taking on Diego Lopez, who has come up on his way, beating everybody, right? Sabatini, Tucker, Youssef, Ige, and Ortega in his last five. I, however, being that this belt is vacant, and I'm going to give it to Volk over Lopez based on the experience. I'm taking Volk, and it's not easy. I think it would not surprise me if Diego Lopez does his thing, digs deep. Now, let's move it on to our fucking Friday bets. Tomorrow, I'm taking the Padres over the Rockies at a minus 170, D backs over the Brewers at a minus 180, Astros over the Angels at a minus 148, Jean over Bryce at a minus 192, Yair over Pitbull at a minus 192, Patty over Chandler at a minus 148, and Volk over Lopez at a minus 162. $5 wins me $129.74. Let's get in it. Let's enjoy all this weekend has to offer in all sports. Once again, drink and gamble like degenerates, and let's enjoy what sports has to offer for us. Once again, I'm Mark Saxton. This is Back to the Drawing Board. Thank you for joining me for yet another week.